Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 65 of Swiss Army Sports. Today is June the 2nd, the big 2026. We're waiting on the producer to turn his camera on. I don't know why he has it off.
No, he's the one pressuring all of us.
Yeah, as you can see, we've gone to the individual camera method. No reason in particular other than my other laptop decided to take a gigantic shit right as we recorded.
Not of a gigantic
phone call
fits.
now.
Looks like a potato.
Host Will Spain, former long snapper for the Troy Trojans, Ospey Governors, and partially Houston Cougars. Joined by my side, former offensive lineman for the Henry Charles Warriors. And just in case y'all didn't know he was by my side, there's my hand. Current man of electricity, Luke Wallman. Yeah, you got touched unconsensually. Also joining us at the table for the second episode in a row. Rare that we get back-to-back episodes. The producer, Big Mike, local frat boy at Mississippi State University, repping the Mississippi State Polo, and joined virtually not from Houston, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. No, from Atlanta, Georgia. Hot Atlanta. The man, the myth, the legend, former kicker for the Houston Christian Huskies and former kicker for the Troy Trojans, current nephew of Georgia Tech men's basketball coach Scott Cross. Chase Cross. Boys, we've got a lot to delve into this episode. We're going to try to keep it under an hour 15. Let's get right into it. Cooler Bull, as we are now going to start every episode with a take that we have. The boys will either say cool or bull. Cool as in we agree, bull as in bullshit. NBA Finals preview. The boys give their picks for the NBA Finals. MLB or NHL Stanley Cup preview. The boys give their pick for the NHL Stanley Cup. We have our MLB power rankings from the past week. Our MLB duties due to the week awards for the past week in the MLB. But what we all want to talk about, NCAA Baseball Super Regional Breakdown. With that, we'll come talk about the NCAA Baseball Regionals that did occur this weekend. Absolute electric weekend of NCAA Baseball. If you tuned in at all, Squeeze Play was my best friend. It was the greatest channel to be on. We had boots on ground in Starkville. We had boots on ground in Atlanta. One was on the winning side. One was on the not-so-winning side. We'll get into all of that. NFL trade news. There were some huge trades, really big trades across the NFL this week. The producer wanted to talk about them, so he will lead that segment, as well as Chase Talks Footy World Cup Group Preview Edition. Chase will lead that segment. Swiss Army 5, we will get into the Swiss Army 5 when we get to that slide, and then best of the weekend. And Michael did not include on here that he has a little game for us to play regarding NFL wide receivers.
My fault.
No, you're good. It was his first time doing the slides. So
No. Chase made 2 text boxes, apparently.
It's like I tell him the cool and bull side.
What?
Y'all not see.
oh,
Well,
yeah.
it's okay.
It's funny. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
Well, all right. And now I'm interested to see what Chase said there.
it's just a cliffhanger now.
Well, here is my take. Carolina will win the Stanley Cup in 5 games or less. The Hurricanes, this is a whole lot of recency bias, I feel like, with Vegas Golden Knights, a decently popular pick in this series. We've seen Carolina sweep not one but 2 opponents, the Ottawa Senators and the Philadelphia Flyers, with relative ease. They beat the Montreal Red Hot Canadiens, another red hot team just like Vegas, in 5 games. Dominated them offensively, on the forecheck, defensively, on the power play, on the penalty kill. In every fashion, Carolina was ahead of Montreal, and this is a Montreal team that I predicted to win in 7 games, and I thought I had enough electricity on offense to make it up to the Stanley Cup final. Carolina completely shut them down. They're getting great goalie play out of Frederick Anderson. They're getting great offensive production from guys like Nikolai Ehlers, Sebastian Aho, and Vegas has been this team that, yes, they dominated Colorado, especially after Game 1, but I think Colorado was kind of just in shell shock that they were beaten Game 1 by the Vegas Golden Knights and were never able to mentally recover. I feel like that is recency bias. We were just talking about this Vegas team a couple weeks ago on this podcast as being potentially fraudulent for the 6 games they played against both Anaheim and Utah, where we thought a majority of that series, both Anaheim and Utah, were the better team. Is it cool or is it bull? I'm going to go virtual first for Chase, and then we're going to go Luke, Michael. That is the order. Chase, am I cool or bull?
I'm gonna say bull. I will say that the Canadian series was a little bit unfortunate. Carolina did look good for the most part, but I thought towards the back end of the series that, the Canadians just didn't play to their level of hockey. And we can keep saying that about the Hurricanes. And the truth of the matter is they have gotten to the Stanley Cup in only 13 games, which is pretty damn good. But when you flip it to the other side of things, Vegas just beat the President's Cup winner. You know what I mean? In 4 games. And Vegas absolutely dominated, looked great. I don't see it going only 5 games. Vegas is red hot, even hotter than the Canadians, I would say. I mean, I I think this game, I think it's going to go at least 6. So I think this is bull.
Okay, fair enough. Luke, Cooler Bull.
I'm going to also go Bull. I do think Carolina wins. I just think I don't really see the Stanley Cup being like a gentleman's sweep or a sweep because Vegas has gotten there. It's not like Vegas doesn't deserve. They dominated Colorado. So, I mean, I think this will probably go 6 games, but I still think Carolina will win.
Fair enough. Michael, Cooler Bull. And I know how you stand on this. So.
Chaser, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Cup game, but Vegas just tied it up 2-2. So
I have been, yeah. I just saw that. I had the Padres game on and now the Cup game since that one just ended. So
yeah,
like I said, Vegas is red hot. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, me and you are gonna highlight it together, I think, because I think me and you are both on Vegas to win it. But yeah, I don't think Carolina's winning this in 5 games or less. If Carolina wins, this will be a 7-game series, I think. So yeah, I'm calling Bull on Will.
All right, I got 3 Bulls struck out there. Luke, Cooler Bull.
Did it, yeah. Okay. I don't think there should be third place teams in this World Cup getting through. I'm completely against tournament expansion in general. If you have something that's good, there's no reason. Like I'm gonna go NCAA first. Expanding 72 teams, you're gonna have some absolutely really bad teams get in. Now, yes, you'll have 1 or 2 that should have maybe gotten in, but this will help. But I think there's the same thing when I was doing my bracket. Some of these teams, in my opinion. So that is my take.
I guess I will start. I will have Michael go second and Chase go third. I'm going to go Bull on this. 1, because I think the World Cup happens every 4 years. And 2, I enjoy watching these games. This gives more teams opportunity. Now, the argument has to come into play that, yes, they I don't know if you know this, they expanded the World Cup. There are more teams in it this year than there have been in previous years. With that being said, I don't think you can't have a bracket format with all these new groups that does not include 8 third-place teams. That's what makes it an even knockout group round. It's Bull for me just because I think it fits the way they expanded. Now, would I have liked to them not expand at all?
That's kind of what I'm going on.
Okay,
So.
not expand at all. I'm going to go Bull on that as well. I think just the more representation we have across the world in the game of football, which is the biggest sport in the world, whether I like it the most or not, is not necessarily the case. However, it is a absolutely entertaining sporting event to watch, which is the World Cup. You're getting me more of it, and we're getting more representation out of like smaller nations like Uzbekistan, who never would have had a chance to make it, or Cape Verde, who has a chance, Curacao. I mean, even a Panama team this year. There are teams that are going to get to show themselves, and nations that will get to show themselves on the world stage that not necessarily would get to do so, and I think this is beneficial to them. Michael, Cooler Bull.
I'm going off of what he said on here. I completely think this is cool on third-place teams not getting through. I mean, you were kind of making the argument that they get their recognition or whatever, but they already get their recognition since they're in the World Cup and they get to play these teams.
But my point is his point, I think, is that they shouldn't have expanded the World Cup in total, because the reason third place teams have to go through, they expanded it to more groups, and so that there's no buys or anything in knockout round.
I
I'm
worded
still-
that terrible.
It's fine. I'm still going to go with Luke. I mean, I'm completely with on no expansion on anything. Basically, you can make that argument, and that's obviously what the case at the World Cup argument makes when they're explaining why they're expansion. But I just think it is a complete money grab. And I mean, the best teams that are in the World Cup make it to the second stage. It's not like there's no such thing as Cinderella runs, I think, in the World Cup as there are in like basketball. So I'm going cool with Luke. I'm completely with this.
Okay, Chase,
Okay.
you're the opinion I also really want to
Yeah,
hear.
All right. I don't know what's my mic's tripping today, but anyways, no, I completely think this is cool. shockingly, I know.
I am shocked.
I agree. See, this is my thoughts on it. I don't think like if it's not broke, don't fix it. The World Cup has had 32 teams for forever. I can't tell you the exact date, but the only reason FIFA expanded it was for money. We're seeing the same thing with the NCAA tournament, same thing with the college football playoff. I feel like, I mean, these tournaments, they work well as it is, and everybody kind of knows what to expect. With 48 teams, yes, you are getting more nations with more representation, but the quality of games goes down. Like in the previous group stages, we had a World Cup in 2014 where it was US, Portugal, Germany, and Ghana all in a group. You won't see that anymore because there's just too much disparity now. And so there's not really a group of death, not any real challenge like the knockout stage games. Like, I mean, the first 3 games in the group are pretty much tune-up games for the top nations. So, I mean, I think that it is definitely. I just don't think third place teams should be getting through either. If you can't finish top 2 in your group, you shouldn't be able to play in the knockout round. I mean, and it gives kind of an unfair advantage, like we saw in Euro 2024 last 2 years ago, that Netherlands made it all the way to the semifinal of the European Championships and they finished 3rd in their group. It's just, it gives people second chances that they don't really deserve. So I think this is a completely cool take.
Back-to-back weeks.
I mean,
rival.
yeah. Damn. All right, so I'm outnumbered again.
I'm gonna agree with Chase on the thing what he said about the knockout stages. Is that first round of knockout stages used to be banger of games that'd be really intense, and I just don't think we're gonna see that this year.
Okay,
No.
fair enough. No,
I mean,
get it.
I'll give you an example. If the U.S. wins their group, we get like Bosnia Herzegovina in the,
But I
in
want
the
that game
first
to
knockout
start, man.
round.
Like, come on.
I mean, I'm not saying I won't watch it. Of course, I'll watch it. I'm just saying like it would usually knockout stage games are bangers right off the rip, and it's just not going to be the case. But I'm all down for more soccer. So and more representation. Like it's great for small countries like Cape Verde, the smallest country ever to make a World Cup. I mean, that's a cool story. So we'll have to see it play out.
All right, what's your take, Chase, on cool or bull?
I don't know if y'all are gonna like this one. Regular season NFL football is one of the hardest sporting events to watch, and I'll explain. So obviously, as a Cowboys fan, I love watching the Cowboys. There's no question about that. But if you're just sitting down and you're at like a B-dubs or something like that, do you really want to watch, say, Cardinals Raiders, or I don't know, Texans versus the Colts, just some random teams that you don't really care about? It's just hard to watch. There's a lot of commercials now, the way they have it set up. The game is slow. I feel like college football has a lot more, like just has a better exciting element, especially now that they're playing a lot of too high safety looks where you're not getting those over the top passes. It's a lot of dink and dunk, a lot of running the football. So I think current NFL football right now, regular season football, just random games, is a very tough watch.
We'll just go this way across the table. I'm going to go absolute complete bull on this. One, I mean, Michael could attest to this. We watch damn near every game because of NFL Red Zone, which is in the regular season. So that kind of cuts.
This
out the
isn't counting
commercial.
Red Zone.
I mean,
It's you
that's
have
how I
to
watch my
sit down and
product.
watch a full game.
I mean, I
Just a
watch
full-
every Monday night football game. I watch every Thursday night football game. I watch every Sunday night football game. I think to say there are better products. Yeah, I would rather watch a weekend series, of college baseball. I'd rather watch a regular
Exactly.
season NHL game. But I think
Regular season college basketball.
Yeah, okay. But this is not
Regular
one of the
season
hardest
hockey.
sporting events to watch. The NBA in the regular season is. The English Premier League for me in the regular season is. I mean, in terms of regular season, I'm talking like middle of the season. English Premier League, because obviously there's no postseason other than the Champions League, etc. But I mean, MLB regular season is much harder to watch than your NFL regular season football games. I'm going to go complete bull on this. Luke, what do you say?
I think you can take this as 2 different ways because I am going to call bull about watching it. I do think it's cool in the fact that it is so hard to watch because of all the subscription crap. If you would have taken that angle, I would have kind of agreed with you because we're all very blessed. All of our parents pay. But like, say if I was out on my own and I had to pay for Red Zone, I had to pay for ESPN, I had to pay for Peacock, I'd kind of be SOL. But in the fact that just watching NFL football, I sit down and watch football all day. Like I watch it all weekend. Same with college. I mean, I don't mind running the football. I obviously playing offensive line. I love watching teams run the football. I in my opinion, I think the NBA is the hardest sport to watch, in my opinion, just because of how, like, you talk about Fell going to too high or whatever and taking away the deep threat and all the excitement. The NBA has just gone to what soccer was 10 years ago on crack. So I'm going to call bull on that take, Chase.
Michael.
I'm also gonna call bull. I feel like you can always find gems in just random games that are really entertaining to watch, especially like at the noon and the 3 o'clock games. I don't know. There's just always banger games like Colts Titans that usually no one really ever cares about. Are usually close games or like have cool plays and stuff like that, and maybe like come down to a game-winning kick. So I also think that fantasy is a huge input on why regular season games are a lot easier to watch because a lot of my friends that aren't huge NFL fans, they're college fans, but they tune into the NFL because they're in a fantasy league and they want to watch their guys. So,
Michael, you're with our last take on Cooler Bull. What is your take?
okay, my take is the Browns won the Myles Garrett trade.
Wow.
Now, we're going to talk about it later, but just for the details, the Browns got Jared Verse, who was a Pro Bowler last year, might even been an All-Pro last year, but I know he's a Pro Bowler, and that I'm pretty sure he won Defensive Rookie of the Year when he was a rookie.
He did.
They got a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and a third-round pick. Now, they're consecutive years, so like the first round is next year. The second round is in 2 years.
They got
and
two
the third
first
round's in 3
rounds.
years. Yeah, I don't know. I think they only got one.
No, they got
But-
only one.
But
It changed.
I honestly, I'm gonna talk about it later. But I kind of like what the Browns are doing, kind of selling their really good guys that were kind of trapped, and they're kind of rebuilding. Now, I don't know what they're gonna do with the quarterback situation, but everything else is actually turning out to be really well because they traded down last year, not this draft, but the year before, decided not to take Travis Hunter, and then got their Mason Graham, and they had another pick this year, which they got Casey Concepcion. So they're kind of building this young core, and I think the Browns are doing a thunder, and they're getting all these picks, and I think it's going to help them in the future in a couple of years.
I'll go Luke and then Chase. I'm going to go cool on this. Absolutely cool. Not only, I mean, you're trading a linebacker for a DN, yeah, but I mean, player profile wise, Jared Verse kind of fits more of that edge. I think you have, honestly, at 25, I mean, it's a 5-year younger player. Who knows what Jared Verse is going to blossom into as a professional football player. I think, he's, like you said, he could have been All-Pro. He was definitely a Pro Bowl. It's hard to say, yes, Myles Garrett is slightly better. It's hard for me not to draw the comparison of the Micah Parsons trade. And I think the Cleveland Browns may have taken a page out of the Cowboys' book here and gone the Micah Parsons route where you're selling your very best defensive player at a high to get really good defensive player that's going to help your defense, whether he's the same level of Myles Garrett or not. And you're getting a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and a third-round pick. Now, it's not exactly the haul we got for Micah, but I 100% see what the Browns are doing with this pick. I don't know why Myles Garrett was still in Cleveland, and they kind of shipped him off for a big return while they could. So absolutely, I'm going cool with this. I think the Browns won that trade. Luke, what do you think?
I think this is, see, mine's kind of predicated on the fact that I would call bull if the Rams were to win a Super Bowl. Like, because the Rams, if they're obviously trading to win a Super Bowl. I think if they win a Super Bowl with him, this takes bull. But it's kind of hard. I do think that defensive line is going to be absolutely scary next year. Myles Garrett just broke the sack record. He is the best player, I think, in the NFL. If the top 100 came out or whatever, I think he should be number one if they haven't already done that yet. I'm going to go bull still because, I mean, you're getting an absolute unit of a human being. And I get he's 30.
He is 30 years old. Jared Burns 25.
You're going to have him for the rest of your career. He's got 5 years left on his contract. You got him for the rest of his career. And like, the dude's a freak of nature. I still think he will play well into like the 34th season. So I am going to go with Bull because I think this will benefit the Rams more as getting a Super Bowl rather than the Browns just building up for their people.
All right. Chase, you're the tiebreaker.
I'm going to say that this is Bull because it's mutually beneficial, not because the Rams won the trade or the Browns won the trade. I think both teams actually got better with this trade. I mean, if you look at it, Cleveland's not going to win with Myles Garrett right now. There's no way. They've had him for years. It's just not working out. They get a big salary off the books. They got draft picks. They got a good young player out of it. It's kind of like what we said what the Cowboys did. And you see what their defense looks like this year, after getting rid of Micah Parsons. Whereas if we kept Micah Parsons, who knows where we'd be at. Then you look at at the Rams, you look at that D-line. I mean, absolutely loaded. There's rumors that Aaron Donald come out of retirement. They're going all in for Matt Stafford's last year, which, you love to see. I mean, I would say they're Super Bowl favorites with that offense, and then they've gotten an even better defense with their additions. They got, that corner that they signed for
McDuffie
from the Chiefs. Yeah, McDuffie. So they have McDuffie in the back end, adding Myles Garrett. Potentially could get Aaron Donald back as well. I mean, that is a scary defense to go along with an offense that was the best in the NFL last year. I mean, this team is poised to win a Super Bowl. So I'd say both teams won this trade. I think the Browns did it for their future, and they're not going to win anything. Both quarterbacks they have are unproven commodities, and the Rams are going all in for one Super Bowl, and who knows what's going to happen after. But I would like to say that both teams won the trade.
Well, holy crap, we took 23 minutes on that segment. Let's move on. NBA Finals picks. I'll go first because mine will be short and sweet. They've got the dude, and the Spurs just knocked off the number one team in the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Give me the Spurs in an absolute banger of a series in 7. They win it at home in dramatic fashion. Jason, you agree with me?
I will say that this Knicks team is playing phenomenal basketball. They've been on an absolute tear. It's hard for me to pick against them when, they've won 11 games straight. However, this Spurs team is just really freaking good. I saw, there's just something you see in Wemby's eyes. He's just got that it factor that, we've seen with LeBron, Michael Jordan. He's going to go down as one of the greatest players of all time, and he's going to win a championship before his 22nd birthday or right after his 22nd birthday. And this team is super young. They're only going to get better. I just love what I'm seeing from the Spurs. They have everything. They have defense. They have three-point shooting. They have enforcers. And then they obviously have the future greatest player of all time. So I think they get it done. I'm not overly impressed with anything the Knicks have outside of Jalen Brunson. But, I hope it's a good series. But I think the Spurs are the best team here.
All right. Kick it off with the Knick picks. Luke.
This is kind of a hard pick. I want New York to win because I want to see New York burn. That city would literally burn itself to the ground if the Knicks. You realize their crime rate is down like 50% since they've been winning in the playoffs, or like some ridiculous number. Like, if the Knicks win, it would be the funniest thing of all time. And I mean, Wemby's going to at least win like 3 more anyways. Give New York 1. Like, let's have the Knicks actually win something because I just want to see this city absolutely burn because the cops aren't going to do anything. They're going to be celebrating too because, it's like with the Mets, all these other New York teams have like a split. It's just the Knicks. So, and no one's a Nets fan. It is the Knicks. So, give me the Knicks. They're hopefully, I don't think they will, but hopefully they win.
Michael, it seems like you legitimately think the Knicks have a chance here.
Yeah, my heart wants the Spurs to win, but my brain is going Knicks. And I'm honestly basing off this because the closest thing I think we have to playoff basketball in the regular season is the Cup final.
Yeah.
And it's not even like the Cup tournament, really. It's just like the Cup final or like going to in the bracket. And the Cup final this year was the Knicks and the Spurs, and the Knicks won. So that's kind of what I'm going based off of, that they kind of figure something out, how to neutralize Wemby. I've seen some things Cat's the best shooting big in the league. So that's going to pull Wemby away from the paint unless they switch and someone else is guarding Cat. Then now Cat has a mismatch. So it'll be interesting to see how the Spurs and the Knicks both attack this. But yeah, I think the Knicks win, and I think they win in 6 because if it goes to 7, it's in San Antonio. I'm pretty sure San Antonio has home.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Knicks are going to get in 6.
All right, moving on now to our Stanley Cup final picks and preview. The Vegas Golden Knights are the traveling team in this series. They will not have home ice advantage, the Carolina Hurricanes will out of the East. Let's start on the Vegas side from Atlanta. Chase, you're going with the Golden Knights here.
Yeah, I am. They've just been red hot. And when you sweep, not only did they beat the Avalanche, they swept them. They absolutely dominated them. Mitch Marner has been fantastic in the playoffs, and their goaltending has been a lot better as of late. And they're just playing really, really good hockey right now. I think that they can score with anybody. If they defend decently well throughout the series, I think that they could win this game in 6, and Vegas will win the Stanley Cup. And I know you're going to hate that pick because you hate Vegas, but I think this is Vegas's year.
I do hate Vegas. Michael, you agree with them. You think the Golden Knights get it done?
Yeah, after pretty much watching every single conference final from both sides, I'm kind of come to conclusion that this is like really good defense against a really good offense because Vegas just shut down Colorado's elite offense to a very not as what we've seen Colorado as. Obviously they were presidents champions in the regular season, and then I mean we just saw Carolina destroy Montreal's defense, having at least I think 30 to 35 shots on goal every single game. So I'm going to go with decent defense wins championships here. I think Vegas has also the offense firepower along with their defense and Carter Hart. But I mean, it is 3-3 right now. So it's kind of going what I thought was going to happen. I thought it was going to be more low scoring. But yeah, I mean, Vegas was down 2-0. Now it's 3-3. So I think if they steal this, they're looking pretty good.
I'm going to start us off here on the Carolina side. I think the Hurricanes win this one in 5. Their only question mark for me is Freddie Anderson, their goalie, who has been playing well, but he does let in the occasional soft shot. You argue it's offense versus defense. I think it breaks down into 2 matchups. One, the goalie matchup. Carter Hart has been absolutely unbelievable for Vegas. Freddie Anderson has been good for Carolina, but has been known to, have his weaknesses. I think Carolina's the better team offensively and defensively. I think you saw a Carolina team that held Montreal to under, I think the highest amount of shots they had other than the game 1 blowout win was 16, and that was an overtime game. I mean, they were held to single-digit shots, under 10, through the first 2 periods for the rest of the series. I mean, this is a team that was not allowing any shots on goal by Montreal, and we're seeing that again here in this game with Vegas having significantly less shots than Carolina. Carolina knows how to, now it's 15-12. Well, it was 15-9. So Carolina knows how to shoot the puck. They know how to get pucks on net. I think they're going to create a little bit of chaos with Carter Hart. They're going to be less selective with their shot process, which I think that both Montreal and Colorado both were more selective in trying to get the perfect shot. Carolina's going to try to create chaos. They are offensively very quick. They know how to shoot the puck. They know how to score. And defensively, they have been playing an unbelievable forecheck and shutting teams down. Straight up, I'm the puck knower in the group. I'm going Carolina in 5. It probably will go 6, but I'm going Carolina to just take care of business against probably their top 3 most hated team in the NHL, the Vegas Golden Knights.
The puck knower did say that Vegas was going to lose round 1.
We all had
Yeah, the puck knower said that Vegas wasn't even going to make it past round 1, that the Mammoths were going to win. So
wasn't the only but no, I've been extremely wrong.
His hate overtakes his knowledge, and then it blinds him from actually what's going to happen.
I'm still going to go Las Vegas. They just I don't like it. So I wanted the Mammoth to win. They didn't win. I can't remember who they played second.
Ducks.
I wanted the Ducks to win. They didn't win. And I wanted the Avalanche to win. They didn't win. It's more of a hate watch kind of pick here. It's like we were all hate watching the Thunder this weekend. But I'm going to go Canes in 6. I definitely think they can get it done. This will, I think, go 6 or 7 games.
I agree.
MLB Power Rankings for this week. Wow, look at that. The boys are in
satisfying.
Agreement. That is very satisfying. As I say, week in and week out, Atlanta is by and far the best team of baseball right now. They have the best pitching staff. They have the best hitting. But the Dodgers aren't too far behind, especially with Yoshi, man. That was a hell of an outing this week. And they are starting to get the bats going. This is going to be, again, as we expected, a tough out from the Dodgers when it comes postseason time. I'm impressed with the Brewers. I don't know if I really expected this much from the Brewers, especially to be a top 5 team in the MLB this year. The NL Central stacked. And I think our Cardinals are damn good, and we'll probably get in the wild card. I just think there's kind of levels to this shit, and they kind of showed it. I mean,
The Miz is a freak.
Yeah.
Dude's a freak, man.
He's a freak of nature. And I've got the Yankees at 4. As much as I hate it, they are playing good baseball. And then, hey, look, small ball wins games apparently. Still in the Big 26. And my Tampa Bay Rays are taking care of business. I've got them at 5. Luke, what are your power rankings?
My power rankings would be the same exact thing. I don't think we really have to elaborate on this. It's pretty clear cut of how the whole MLB is going right.
Chase, how about your power rankings, bud? Are they any different?
The same thing. I mean, I think across the board, these are the top 5 teams. Now that we've seen the Rays come back down to earth a tiny bit, I mean, it's pretty clear Atlanta, we've said it for weeks now that Atlanta's far and away the best team in baseball right now. Dodgers are number 2. They just have so many weapons that, it's ridiculous. And Shohei is going for an MVP and Cy Young. It's ridiculous. And then, the Miz and the Brewers have been the surprise of the season. I don't think anybody thought everybody knew they were probably going to be a playoff team, but nobody knew they were going to be this good. Yankees obviously are very talented, and they'll be there in the end. And then the Rays, another massive surprise. And like you said, small ball wins games.
Michael.
Yeah, got the same. I'm kind of waiting to see who's going to take this Rays spot at 5. I do think the Rays are going to keep falling. I'm not going to lie. But, we're looking at the Diamondbacks and the Padres, or maybe even the Cardinals, but they're losing again to the Rangers tonight. So, but we'll see. But, yeah, I think Atlanta's
The AL is so much better than the NL this year.
Dude.
The NL.
Ooh.
NL is
I was about to say,
Yeah,
I think the NL is.
Yeah. I said it the wrong way around, but it's ridiculous how much talent's in the NL versus the AL.
100%. Speaking of the Braves, my duty of the week is Ronald Acuna. He had a 375 average, 583 on base percentage, 1.313 slugging, and 5 home runs. I almost went to college baseball for this award. We have a guy named Jay Boroff that is on the Troy Trojans, dude, who literally hit 500 in his regional against Florida. I want to shout out Jabe. I'm not going to say the nickname we have for him on air, but it's nothing degrading. It's just awesome. I'm just not going to say it on air. But Jabe Ruth, we love you. But yeah, Ronald Acuna is my duty of this week. The dates are completely wrong on the title of that slide. That's on me or the person that did the slides. Luke, I love the picture.
That'd be me. I'll raise the hand.
I love the picture that you used for your player.
Yeah, mine's going to be Mr. Tennis Racket, Jaron Duran, or if I'm even saying that right.
Duran, yeah,
whatever.
Who's Duran?
Tennis racket.
Yeah. So he's Mr. Tennis Racket. He is my duty. He hit 393 this week with 4 bombs, 9 RBIs, and got on base at a 419 clip, and I got back-to-back Red Sox, so.
Chase, who is your duty?
All right, so non-Padres fans probably hadn't seen this, but Fernando Tatis has been in probably the worst slump of his career in terms of hitting home runs. He's hitting the ball hard, in the 99th percentile of hard hit balls, but everything's been in the ground.
Do you know why
year.
that could potentially be happening there, Chase?
No, he's still hitting the ball hard. So I wouldn't say it's steroids because he's still in the 99th percentile of bat speed. He's just hitting everything into the ground. But he finally hit a bomb this last week, 430-foot bomb. Looks good. He's been hitting a lot better. The average has gone up like 25 points in the last week and a half. So hopefully that means he's getting hot. Need the rest of the Padres hitters to get on there. But he looks a lot more relaxed at the plate. Hopefully he can get real hot here. So he's my duty for the week. For finally
and
breaking
how far was
slump.
that home run again?
I think it was 430.
Well,
You can
that
check.
fails in comparison to Jay Boroff, who hit a 456-foot bomb against the Florida Gators across the street into the residentials. That was picked up, by the way, by former Troy Director of Football Operations Jeremiah Cartwright, who is in Florida with John Summerall. The ball
Let's
was
say Summerall. That's kind of funny. Summerall's in
yes.
Florida.
So
I wonder if he went. He
Jared
definitely
Parker
went.
was at the game for Troy, as was John Summerall for Florida, and the Troy boys took care of business against the Gators.
That's kinda
Luke, I think
funny.
you wanted to say something there.
Oh, yeah. The whole Tatis thing is kind of hiding the fact that Vlad Guerrero Jr. only has 3 home runs.
That's a good point.
Boy, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no,
The World Baseball Classic screwed up all the Dominicans.
I know.
Well, the Blue Jays just in general
Oh,
are
shut
so
up.
Yeah.
insane.
Bad. Moving on now to please college baseball talk. We have our super regional picks. Let's start off with the supposed to be 1-16 matchup, but West Virginia Country Roads take me home. They're hosting a super against who is that now? Cal Poly, the 2 seed out of the Los Angeles Regional. Yes, if you did not watch baseball this weekend, St. Mary's, the last overall seed in the tournament, beat the number 1 overall seed UCLA not once, but twice. And Cal Poly was the beneficiary of that. They will travel to Mountaineer Town in Morgantown, West Virginia, to play West Virginia, who absolutely squeaked it out of their ass against Kentucky, hitting not only a go-ahead in the 9th, but also having to walk it off in the 10th in the next, or no, vice versa. Hit a go-ahead in the 10th, walks it off in the 9th. Crazy baseball out of these 2 regionals to start off. I totally thought we were going to get Cal Poly versus Kentucky for the longest time. As soon as UCLA lost that first game against St. Mary's, I thought they were going to have a very hard time getting out of the losers bracket, even though we could see that they could hit home runs on command against Virginia Tech. Yeah, so I'll start off with my pick, and then y'all can say what y'all thought about the regionals and give your pick. Obviously, the 2 regionals we're talking about at a time. I'm going with Cal Poly. They had an unbelievable pitching depth in this regional. Now, granted, they won every game, so they only had to use 3 games worth of pitching, but their hitting was on point. They were scoring runs. They blew out teams in this regional. I thought Cal Poly was extremely impressive. I mean, this is a known baseball program out of Cal Poly, the Mustangs. Also, West Virginia, they were at home. Yes, that atmosphere is absolutely incredible. I loved seeing every single person in a sold-out baseball stadium, seeing country roads with the team, arms around each other's shoulders, swinging back and forth. I think the magic ends here for them. I'm a buyer in Cal Poly right now, and I think they're going to be heading to Omaha. We'll go Luke, Michael, and Chase after me on all of these. So, Luke, what do you think about the now Morgantown Super Regional, and what do you think about the regionals that happened to lead up to it?
I think that West Virginia is going to have some more voodoo magic because I think when they beat Kentucky, they beat them twice, right? Or whatever. They used voodoo magic on both. I mean, like the way they scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th to end up winning. I mean, it was pretty insane. So I think that crowd is electric. I think the travel might kind of play into it a little bit. But I do think they're going to be able to take care of business during Cal Poly. I just think that crowd, I'm kind of rolling with the vibes of West Virginia over the stat or like how well Cal Poly played them. Kind of playing the vibes here.
Okay, playing the vibes. Michael.
Yeah, I'm piggybacking off of Luke. I think this is probably out of all the matchups, I think this is the biggest home field advantage we have. Morgantown is just insane. They were always with their team and in it, even when they were down against Kentucky, and they just pulled off some voodoo magic. And I think this could be a team that makes a run this year, that if they stay hot like this, they're going to be hard to beat. But yeah, I'm going with West Virginia.
Well, let's move on to the next regional. It was supposed to be
Chase didn't even
Oh,
go-
Chase.
Oh,
So,
wow.
God, I'm so sorry,
Wow.
Chase. No, call
Kidding
me
me,
out,
man.
dude. I'm sorry.
No, I'll keep it short and sweet. I think the travel is going to mess with Cal Poly. It's 3 hours difference. It just makes a big difference. And Morgantown has been absolutely rocking. It's going to be rocking. West Virginia, in my opinion, was the best team in the Big 12 this year. I'm rolling with West Virginia.
Will just wanted to talk about Troy so bad.
Oh, he's ready.
I'm so
He's ready for the Trojan
As
War.
a proud Troy alum, this is, I damn near had tears in my eyes seeing our team go to the Super Regionals for the first time in its history. We're a very proud baseball program, and it is honestly kind of surprising it's the first time, but it is the first time. The 3 seed out of the regional, the Gainesville Regional, is the Troy Trojans. They are hosting the 4 seed out of the 9th overall regional in the Hattiesburg Regional, University of Arkansas at Little Rock, the Trojans. It's the Trojan War. Obviously, I'm going to go with the Trojans here of Troy. This is a team, Michael can attest to this. He saw a lot of the Sun Belt Conference baseball tournament, watched the entire regional. This is a team that I am scared we're going to lose the first game, but I'll be damned if we lose any game after that. This is a team that has been shown to be gritty. They know how to handle a loss and come back. Also, the bats are extremely hot, 1 through 9. I mean, let's highlight some names here. Houston Markham, Jay Boroff at the 8-9 hole have been absolutely unbelievable. Pitching has been way further, has exceeded any of my expectations. I thought we would blow every single lead in the 7th through 9th inning against Florida. We did not. We were able to, reuse pitchers, with days rest. I mean, it was an unbelievable effort from Coach Meade and the Trojans. I'm forgot to give my pick in the games for Cal Poly West Virginia. I'm going to go 2-1 Cal Poly. I think, and I'm being a little cautiously optimistic here. I think it should be on paper, and I will say a 2-0 sweep for Troy. Real Pace Field will be rocking in Troy, Alabama. I'm very excited to see it. Unfortunately, will not to get to go, but if they do make it to Omaha, I will be there. Luke.
Yeah, so I think back to West Virginia thing. I think it's going to be 2-1 West Virginia. There's no way they don't lose the game, or they have to lose. It's just West Virginia. But Troy looked amazing. The bats were there. That's what I was kind of shocked, is how much they were able to score this weekend against a pretty good Florida team. Now, we did say they were obviously very shaky heading into the year. This is a team that could win the whole thing or could lose in regionals, and that's exactly what we just saw. But I was very impressed with the runs and the bats for Troy, and I think they're going to 2-0 sweep Little Rock. Which kind of scares me, because Little Rock put a great fight up against the champions of last year in LSU. They almost came out of the region there. It's a great little baseball program that's kind of on the rise, but I do think Troy is going to make their first College World Series.
Freaking love it. Michael.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, what we all thought that happened to Southern Miss, I also thought was going to happen to Troy, just because of how many games they played and how many pitching staff and everything like that. But man, I did not expect the bats, as we've all been said, and they were rolling grand slams, just nukes, and against a shaky team like Florida. And I mean, Will alluded to this on Monday. I guess I'm not well versed in Florida's pitching staff, but that was a very questionable start on the game deciding to win your region. Was
they threw their midweek guy who had not started in a month.
Yes. So they tried to defend it on SEC Network, saying his starting stats were better than his relieving stats, but he didn't start in a month and gave up 2 runs in the first inning and had 3 or 4 walks within a couple of innings and got pulled pretty quick. So, yeah, I mean, that's a coaching problem right there. But, yeah, I got Troy winning this. I mean, yes, hats off to Little Rock, but we kind of knew that Southern Miss probably wasn't going to win that region.
I definitely thought it was going to be Jacksonville State. So that's where I tipped my cap to UALR for beating Jacksonville State.
So, yeah, Troy boys, man, come on.
Chase.
Coach Meade has the boys rolling. I that they're destined to make a College World Series. One of the best stories from this sports year's calendar in general. How about that Troy athletic program, man?
Yeah.
I mean, football, basketball, and baseball making noise. I think they get to College World Series. I think this is the most favorable matchup they could have gotten out of all the other 15 teams they could have played. It just worked out great for Troy. I think they handily sweep ULAR 2-0.
Awesome. Moving on now to the Chapel Hill Super Regional, where number 5, North Carolina, hosts out of the 12th seeded regional College Station, the University of Southern California Trojans. We have 3 Trojans in the Supers. USC was able to take down Texas A&M not once but twice on Sunday and Monday, just as Troy did to Florida. UNC, I said USC, I thought. Well, okay, USC beat Texas A&M. UNC cruised in the Chapel Hill Regional. Had to beat Eastern Carolina, who put up a good showing. Shout out to the Tennessee Vols for being completely ass and getting being the first team in the college baseball tournament to be eliminated, which is, just brings a tear to a grown man's eye. Guys, I think USC's kind of hot, but I think North Carolina's the better team. I've got them in 3-2-1. We'll just stick. Well, I guess I'll go Luke next. You disagree?
Yeah, no, I hate North Carolina. I just want to cap those out. This is a little bit of a hate watch, but I do think USC's got an extremely good staff, and their bats are absolutely rolling. Their bats were kind of the question coming into this tournament, and they hit the ball extremely well against Texas A&M, and I don't see why they can't do it again. I mean, North Carolina, at least in my memory of watching college baseball for like the past, I'd say 5 years, usually flops as the high seed. I think they're going to flop here, and USC is going to make their first College World Series ever.
Michael.
Yeah, I mean, my words are not coming in fruition from last episode. I was glazing the ACC in the conference, and they only have one team that made it into the super regions. So, but I have to ride with North Carolina because they very well handled their region good. And I am afraid, though, because USC is hot. A&M was a sussy team all year, but, I mean, they're still hosting. So, and to win back-to-back away shows that your
Pretty
team is on the
dominant
right track.
fashion both
Yeah,
games,
they
too.
kind of dominate both the games.
Love to
Just
see.
as the Troy Trojans did. Chase, you agree? You're going with the heels.
I wanted to pick USC here just off the fact that they smoked him. That just made me so happy. But anyways, I actually have to go with North Carolina. I've been high on North Carolina all year. I think that they're one of the better teams in college baseball, team that can challenge for the national championship. That being said, I think this USC team is going to give them a run for their money, but I do think that the travel, again, like we talked about, just traveling from West Coast to East Coast, it makes a difference. That 3 hour time jump, and I'm sure they're already there, but it just takes a while to get acclimatized. I mean, I was talking to some of the Troy players from the last year basketball team when they went out from Alabama, which is only 2 hours difference, but it just makes such a big difference just with your routine, everything. And baseball players are all about routine. So I think that is going to mess with USC a little bit. I got North Carolina here. I think North Carolina gets it done.
We're heading to now back to Alabama for our second of 3 Alabama Super Regionals. Great state of Alabama. War Damn Eagle there hosting Auburn. The 4 seed climbs after losing to Milwaukee in game 1, kind of getting blown out. They do not lose again. They beat Milwaukee back-to-back nights, and they are hosting the 2 seed out of the number 13 seeded Nebraska Regional, Ole Miss. Ole Miss will travel to Auburn at SEC matchup, one of 2 that we have in the Super Regionals, and I am going to go Auburn in a clean sweep. I think Auburn will kind of hit the hard reset. They have one of the best pitching staffs in college baseball. It did not show up in the regionals, but it has been there all season. And this is an Ole Miss team that I've just not been impressed with at all year. We knew that Nebraska regional was going to kind of be a tight one between really Ole Miss or Arizona State. I don't think anyone truly believed Nebraska was going to make it out. And credit to Ole Miss for getting here, but I think Auburn, they kind of got fired up after losing to Milwaukee and put the pedal to the metal. And I think Auburn's going to comfortably handle Ole Miss. Luke, what do you think?
I think Auburn's going to end up winning the series. I do think it's going to be 2-1 because whenever Ole Miss's stud pitches, they're winning that game. That dude absolutely diced up Nebraska, and he's very good. I do think Ole Miss is going to be able to steal that game. I just think Auburn kind of got that wake up call of like, we might lose, we might not make it to the regional. So I think that's good that they had that happen instead of cruising in easily. So I do still see Auburn winning 2-1.
Michael.
Yeah, the way that Auburn won the region just actually puts way more confidence in me than if they just would have won it normally, because the region was pretty easy, I'm not going to lie. And shout out to Milwaukee because they gave them a run for their money. But yeah, I think Auburn is probably now the second best team that is left. And obviously they're the 4 seed, so that makes sense when the first 2 are out. But yeah, I think Auburn is going to win this. I'll give Ole Miss a game just because they'll do that. But yeah, Auburn's winning it.
Chase, you are fading the Auburn Tigers here. You're going with the Ole Miss Rebels.
They lost to Milwaukee. What can I say?
Okay, and Ole Miss lost
Milwaukee
to Missouri
was
first game of
the
SEC
worst
tournament.
team in the tournament. By the metrics, Milwaukee was the
Missouri
worst
played
team in the
a
tournament.
lot.
So, I mean, if Auburn can lose to them, who's to say they can't lose 2 games to Ole Miss? I don't love this Auburn. I love this pitching staff. I don't love their bats as much, but I think Ole Miss gets it done. We've been sleeping on them a little bit all year. I think they get to the College World Series.
And before we move on to the next one, I just want to make sure
Will's
because
got a
this
hate watch of
this
some
is a
sort.
this is a
Ole Miss.
this is a conference matchup. Let's just make sure they haven't played this year,
I
guys.
did, and I think Auburn went 3-0, 2-1, but it was, if I'm not mistaken.
I do not see them having played each other.
I'll do some producer research.
Anyway,
while y'all
Yeah,
keep
they have not played each other this year. So moving on, Kansas, the 15th seed, will host the supposed to be Georgia Tech, but out of the two Atlanta region, Oklahoma, who beat the Yellow Jackets back-to-back games. Look, Kansas, they turned it up against Arkansas. They surprised me in this regional. I think there was it was a pretty tough regional for Kansas to come out of. I didn't think they were going to do it. I thought it was going to be either Arkansas or Missouri State. However, the Jayhawks did prevail. It's going to be a raucous environment, but give me Boomer Sooner. Dude, if you're able to beat those Georgia Tech Bats in back-to-back games, I have full faith that you will be able to take care of Kansas on the road. Give me Oklahoma. Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Kansas,
2-1, though. I think Kansas gets a game. Go ahead.
Kansas kind of shocked me this week, and I did not think they were coming out of that regional. And obviously, Oklahoma beat Georgia Tech. But we did see the whole ACC absolutely fall on their face. So at the same time, yes, Georgia Tech's been great. They've been awesome. I mean, I think it obviously has – the weight fell a little bit for me with how bad the ACC played this weekend with their top teams. And, I mean, Kansas played really well. And I just kind of think in Lawrence was absolutely rocking this weekend. It's kind of the same thing with West Virginia. Kind of going with the vibes here. I think Lawrence is going to be able to go to the College World Series. It's going to be 2-1. It's going to be a very tight, tested super.
Michael.
I am going to go with Kansas, and this is why. I was really leaning towards Oklahoma because of the upset against Georgia Tech, but I am also going to go with I think that Kansas's home environment was very good, and I think that is going to be coming into play. And Oklahoma, let's be honest, I mean, they were a very kind of bottom-tier SEC team. They were one of the last teams in the tournament, and I don't know, Kansas coming out has impressed me, so that's why I'm picking them.
Chase, you're with me on the Sooners, though.
I don't know. Just the vibes around this Oklahoma team. I mean, obviously Georgia Tech, I think we can all agree, was probably the best team in baseball this year. I mean, I know UCLA was number one, but I think just watching them play, I mean, the bats they have, the prospects they've got, I mean, Von Lack should be the Golden Spikes Award winner, if I had to guess. But that being said, Oklahoma just found ways to win, especially in the clinching game to send them through. They were down 7-3 at a point and came all the way back to win. I mean, that's just the mark of a gritty
They
team.
were down 8-2 in game one against Georgia
I know.
Tech.
That's what I'm saying. And they came back to win both games. And I know it's recency bias, but if you look at what they did to do that, no, their averages and their metrics are not phenomenal, but I still think this Oklahoma team has what it takes to at least get by Kansas and get to that College World Series.
Let's make this regional quick. Number 7, Alabama in Tuscaloosa. The 3rd Alabama regional will host the 4 seed out of the 10-seeded Florida State regional. St. John's, the Johnnies up, Bama in 2.
Yeah, Bama in 2. I hate that they drew St. John's. Bama in 2.
Michael.
I cannot believe that St. John's won the Tallahassee region. I thought that region was weird, though.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I'm going with Bama. Bama, they're hitting the bats.
Yeah, they are.
They're rolling with those bats. And, yeah, Justin LeBron, come on.
Chase.
Bama into LeBron.
All right, now we head to Austin, Texas, where the Texas Longhorns, the number 6 overall seed, will host the 11-seeded Oregon Ducks. Quack. I'm on the Ducks, dude. First off, their regional was much harder than Texas's. They had to host the number 8 seed in the D1 poll, Oregon State. And here is my reasoning why. Oregon's pitching staff literally shut down every offensive lineup they faced. I think they gave up 2 or 3 runs the entire regional in their 3-0 performance. Texas looked shaky against UCSB. So I'm going to take the Oregon Ducks to win in 3 games, 2-1. Their pitching staff eclipses Texas's, and their bats will do enough to get it done. I also do not like the Longhorns one bit. So, Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of back Chase up here a little bit before we get to Chase. Oregon almost lost to Washington State if it wasn't for a 3-run that day.
Chill.
So, I mean, they almost lost to Washington State. And Oregon State is the Notre Dame of football. They were only ranked because they were playing Hawaii and all these crap low-tier mid-major teams because they're not in a conference. They don't schedule anybody. So, I mean, that's not an impressive win. I don't know why they're the 8th team in the country. Like, honestly, it's it's diabolical that they're the 8th team in the country. But I think Texas, I mean, they didn't lose, and UC Santa Barbara is usually a solid baseball team. So I do think Texas wins 2-1 here. I think Oregon will get kind of their small ball sort of style of a win. They'll do some stupid shit where they'll get a safety squeeze and some dude runs in. I ultimately think Texas will end up going to the CW.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Chase is gonna be so happy to hear what I have to say, but like, hey, Texas is probably the most talented team here. They have just dudes. You think every single guy is going to contribute or hit a home run, and Texas just pisses me off because they have Anthony Pack Jr., who's probably going to win National Freshman of the Year over Mississippi State's Jacob Parker, who's having a phenomenal season. But yeah, Texas hit the transfer portal hard, and they won and struck gold. And I think this team is going to go deep into the College World Series. And yeah, I think Texas gets this done in 2. I really don't think it's close, to be honest. UC
Chase.
Santa Barbara was a great team, and Texas just, whenever UC Santa Barbara would take a lead or tie it, I mean, Texas would just strike right back. And I think they're going to do that against Oregon as well.
Chase.
This team has gotten better throughout the season. I want to give y'all just a reference point. So March, they played Tarleton State at home, lost 6-1. This last weekend, they beat Tarleton 16-2. And I know that's not synonymous, but I mean, they're just playing really good baseball right now. I mean, if you beat 2 teams, like they put up football scores in their first 2 regional games. I mean, that, I don't care what you say. Yes, easy regional. Yes, most definitely. But at the same time, it's still a regional in the NCAA tournament where you have to show up and have to play well. And we saw better teams. And an example of that would be Georgia Tech, UCLA, lose teams that they were probably more talented than just because the lights were too bright. This Texas team is ready. They're going to smoke Oregon. I think that they're poised to make a deep run to maybe potentially win the College World Series. And I got it a 2-0 sweep.
Chase, you're looking at your phone as well as the producer. We're going to maybe do a pivot here. Let's move on to our final region in Athens. The 3-seeded Georgia versus 14-seed Mississippi State. I will be absolutely damned if Mississippi State, this is a damn good baseball team, loses 6 of 7 versus 1 club. Give me the Dogs in 3. Luke. Oh, and Hail State. Luke, how do you see this one go?
Man, you know, my mind is telling me Georgia. Well, but if you watch this podcast, I try not to hate watch on our team. I really don't, unless there's a team I just absolutely despise. But I don't really despise any of our teams, so I try not to hate watch on any of our teams. I'm gonna roll Mississippi State. I don't think it's gonna happen. State's gonna somehow clutch some random shit up. It's gonna be 2-1. The world might set. Starkville might burn if they end up.
I will counter. I don't think Georgia looked good in their regional at all. Barely beat Liberty.
It was pouring ass rain.
Details don't matter. Michael, you're picking against your own school.
Look,
Maybe there's some reverse magic psychology going on here. I don't know. But the only reason actually why I am picking Georgia is because I have Georgia to win the whole thing. And it's just literally the most unfortunate thing ever that we got paired up with them. I mean, if we got ranked the 15th seed, we're going against Oklahoma, who we beat. If we got ranked the 16th seed, we're going against Cal Poly. If we got ranked, if we got ranked the 13th seed, we'd be going against Auburn, which would be screwed. But the Georgia Bulldogs are the best team in the country, in my opinion. But I know y'all probably saw because y'all paying attention. I think Chase probably saw too. But Trey Phelps is out
for
the first game against Mississippi State because he got ejected.
Is the manager also have anything?
The manager is not ejected. I think managers can get ejected and come back the next game. Players cannot. So Mississippi State is probably going to be throwing Tomas Valinkis, who is up for Best Pitcher of the Year. So, I mean, if State steals game 1, that's when it gets interesting. Just because McPherson is back and had his best outing against Louisiana on Sunday, who was the Friday starter at the beginning of the year for Mississippi State. And Duke Stone just had his best outing against
Cincinnati.
No, He pitched game 1. So against Lipscomb. So, I mean, the state pitching staff is very good, and they're all coming back next year. So, but I think the Bulldogs
Sounds like
get
you
it
wanna
done,
flip your
and the
pick.
Georgia Bulldogs. No, I'm not flipping my pick because Georgia is going to win because they're the best team in the country. But I'm rooting for my Bulldogs hard. I hope we get it done so we can go to Omaha. But yeah, Georgia Bulldogs.
Chase, you're on with Georgia.
Unbiased, like without any bias, Georgia is the best team in the country. There's no doubt. They have they have one of the best offenses, have a great staff. They're absolutely loaded. Um, and I think Mississippi State will cause problems for them. I don't think it's a sweep, and I think that game 3 is going to be absolutely electric, but I do think Georgia just has too much quality to not win. So I'm going with the Bulldogs in a 2, well, the Georgia Bulldogs in a 2-1 series win.
Little housekeeping note here. If you have tuned in this late to the episode anticipating our World Cup picks, we're going to move that to the next episode just due to time constraints. We have jobs, and it is decently late
I
here.
think 2 of us have jobs.
Yeah, I have to be up in 7
Yeah,
hours.
he does.
Ivory
Chase has-
Coast is winning the World Cup.
Okay. We'll
Morocco.
we'll move on.
Morocco.
We'll skip through these slides real quick for those watching on YouTube, but we are going to move our World Cup preview to the next episode. Anyways, moving on to NFL blockbuster trades. Let's talk first between Cleveland and LA, as we kind of touched on it before. LA got Myles Garrett. Cleveland got Jared Verse, a 2027 first-round pick, a 28 second, and a 29 third. Again, I'm going to reemphasize, I think Cleveland got the better of this trade. They're building their future. Yes, if LA wins the Super Bowl, I'll take it back. It's beneficial for both teams. However, now if LA does anything but win a Super Bowl, they fall short. It is Super Bowl or bust. So I'm going to go with Cleveland on the safe side for winning this first trade. Luke, Michael, then Chase, what do y'all think about the trade between the Browns and the Rams?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards the Rams because I do think they could easily win this division. Now, that defense insane. You still got the amazing offense. So I do think the Rams won. I do think it's good that they traded Garrett because of how much money was being spent on him. And for the Browns, who are trying to rebuild, you really can't rebuild around a guy who's 30 years old at the D-line. I mean, if this was 5 years ago, yeah, you can do that. But they kind of missed that window. So I think it benefits both teams. I do think the Rams will end up winning this trade by far. He just broke the sack record. He's a freak of nature. I mean, so yeah.
Michael.
I feel like this is the first time we've seen an NFL team just like push all of their chips into like one season,
Yeah.
basically, because that Stafford contract is like $55 million for 1 year. They went and got McDuffie. They went and got Garrett, which we all said last year when we were through the NFL season, we were like, man, this Rams offense is elite, but their defense has holes. And now their defense is cracked with McDuffie and Garrett. So they're going Super Bowl or bust, but this never works out in like any sporting ever. Whenever a team pushes all in, I'm not saying it's going to happen because I never wish this on any, but like injuries happen, just like it never really works out. Like the biggest thing that comes to my mind is the Brooklyn Nets with Irving, KD, and Harden. Like this is like literally the same thing that's happening because Myles Garrett is the best defensive player. Matt Stafford just won the MVP. They got Nakua. They got still a young talent and like Colby Young, and now they have Devontae Adams. And I forgot who their first round pick. I thought the Rams got a tight end or something.
That was second
Nope.
round, I think. Their
Who they
first
get
round
in the
was
second
First round
round?
pick was Ty Simpson.
Ty
Oh, yeah.
That was-
so.
Wow, that was a blank on my part. So they're kind of building for the future. Not really, though. But also, side note, Ty Simpson's ACT scores got leaked.
I saw
Oh,
that.
my gosh.
I wonder-
I didn't know. What is it?
It was
What
like
the-
16,
Yeah.
14.
Oh, dear
it was
God.
bad.
I wonder how true that is, though.
I wonder how true it is, too,
because
but that's
that-
hilarious.
Yeah.
Chase, what do you think about the trade?
I think that I'd give both teams probably a minus for it. I like what the Browns did. I like what the Browns are finally doing. I think Andrew Berry is doing a really good job. They have assembled a really good defense and have not tied up all their assets in one player. Myles Garrett is obviously a top 3, top 2 player in football. I mean, on a good team, he's probably the best player in football. And I think he makes the Rams defense like a top 10 defense easily in the NFL just by himself. And then, you add Trent McDuffie too. This unit's going to be really good. However, I love what the Browns did. I mean, they're getting a first round pick next year that may, and a loaded class. Next year's class is going to be absolutely phenomenal for the draft. Quarterback wise, they need to get a quarterback. It's clear. I don't think Shadur Sanders or Deshaun Watson is going to be the answer there in Cleveland. And then they get Jared Verse, who's a young player who's going to be really good for the future. And he already is a dominant force on the D line. Obviously, you go from the best player at his position to maybe the fourth or fifth best player, but you're not taking that much of a step back, and you got premium draft capital. So I think it was a good move for Cleveland. But Myles Garrett to the Rams, like, they have to win the Super Bowl this year. I think, they're going all in, and they're one Matthew Stafford injury away from this year being a complete bust. Unfortunately, I hate to say it. I don't think Ty Simpson's the guy. I don't think, a Puka injury. Puka goes down for a period. They're just so fragile now that they have all their assets tied up in these big name players. I don't know if the depth is there for the Rams, but, I would love to see them make a run, and hopefully Matt Stafford can get another Super Bowl. But I'm saying that my pick right now for the Super Bowl is the Dallas Cowboys, and I'll say that here. I'll say it all 2026 and 2027. I think the Cowboys are winning the Super Bowl.
I agree.
So
I agree. Jerry Jones, all in, baby. Let's talk about this next trade pretty quickly. The Philadelphia Eagles got a 2028 first and a 2027 fifth, while the Patriots received A.J. Brown. I think this is pretty clear-cut, mutually beneficial to both teams. Drake May gets himself an elite wide receiver 1. And the Eagles cut out a cancer that was in their locker room. He obviously had issues with Jalen Hurts. I don't know how you wouldn't. Jalen Hurts can't throw a football. And they just had to part ways. This had to happen. And it's good for the Patriots to get A.J. Brown. I think he's going to be revitalized in this, with Stephon Diggs. And it's become a very, really, really good wide receiver core in New England who has a great quarterback. Hashtag Drake May. Drake May, and it's really beneficial. Luke.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of delve into what I saw from a pretty reliable source too. I think it's the Rich Eisen show talking about this. So apparently, AJ Brown is a side chick. She is the masseuse on the team. She's giving players happy ending. She's also sleeping with Hassan Reddick. AJ Brown goes to Jalen Hurts and says, "You gotta tell him to back off," or whatever. And Jalen Hurts says, "I just want to win a football game." Very understandable there. And
crazy take. Crazy take on the football team.
This was right before the Super Bowl, too. So, AJ Brown is now absolutely losing his crap about this. But apparently she was, giving happy endings and stuff and massaging and also sleeping with, 5 other Eagles players. So she just got to get bounced around. But that is apparently where the stem between, because he was like, "You don't have my back, da-da-da-da." And that's kind of where that rip started. But I do think this is
Who won the damn trade?
Yeah. No, I think it's a mutual benefit. I think the Eagles kind of won just offloading the cancer. So,
go ahead. This is so funny. We knew this was happening. This was a lock from literally the beginning of the end of the offseason and then when it was confirmed when the Eagles drafted Mekhi Lemon in the first round.
Yeah.
So, but this is a great move by the Patriots. I think the Patriots win this trade because A.J. Brown is that dude. He is that deep ball threat that Drake May got. And, man, just when he thought the Patriots were out, they're back in, and I think they're going to be very good again this year.
Chase, what do you think, buddy?
to agree. I think A.J. Brown was limited because of the quarterback playing the style of offense that was ran in Philadelphia. And I think that we've kind of forgotten what he was in Tennessee a little bit and what he was in his first couple seasons in Philly just because of Jalen Hurts and the tush push and the way they play football and the addition of Saquon Barkley. He just was not the forefront of the offense like he was in his early days. I think in New England, it's a perfect fit. Reunite him with Mike Vrabel, who knows him and likes him a lot. Drake May is a perfect quarterback for him, throws a great deep ball. A.J. Brown's going to have a great year next year. And I honestly think Philly is considerably regressing
Yeah, I agree.
This is big
I
for
don't
the
think
Cowboys.
Makai-
This is
I d-
huge for the Dallas Cowboys.
huge, and I don't think Makai Lemon is going to be that
Also
guy
right.
either. I mean, they don't have
he's his
they don't
own
have a
cancer.
big body wide receiver in that room. They have two smaller guys. I'm not overly blown away. Now the Eagles did get a 2020 first round pick, which is good for the value, probably since everybody knew that AJ Brown was going to be leaving. But still, man, I don't love this for the Eagles, but I love this as a Cowboys fan, so I'm very happy for this.
All right. As we're going to now breeze through these World Cup slides, ignore these if you are very interested in this. There we go. Yeah, this is next up.
No, there's one
Swiss
before
Army
it.
top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Swiss Army 5, top 5 non-alcoholic beverages. Thought this would be an interesting topic for us to go. Number 1 for me is sweet tea. I am a big Michael likes sweat tea apparently, but I like sweet tea.
Gosh dang.
I like sweet tea. Back in my non-cut days, I used to drink about a gallon.
Luke spelt it, not me.
A gallon of sweet tea. Every two. I used to get. My mom used to bring me 2 gallons of sweet tea per week. I was going through sweet tea like it was water. It is my go-to drink at a restaurant if I'm not getting a brewski. So I love sweet tea. Number 2 is my favorite soda, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is undefeated for me. I think it is the greatest soda, especially when ice cold in the morning. By the way, that's a little take for you. Number 3, yellow Gatorade. Cures hangovers. Was the best thing after a really hot run from football. Yellow Gatorade or Powerade, I think either suffice. Pretty similar in taste. Powerade maybe even be a little more refreshing. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the lemon lime flavored sports drink. Number 4 is water. I drink a lot of water. It is my most consumed drink. And ice cold water sometimes just cannot be beat. And number 5 is my favorite niche drink. Sonic Ocean Water. There were days where we used to go to this guy named Shabazz, and we would go to Sonic afterwards and review drinks. But my favorite was Ocean Water. I think Ocean Water is just your typical nice, refreshing drink. That blue coconut mixed with a little pop from the Sprite. So that's my number 5. Luke, what are your top 5 non-alcoholic beverages?
My number 1 is water. I drink water all the time. It is really the only thing I drink unless I go to a restaurant or I'm at school at the vending machine. So it's kind of difficult for me to make this list. So, gotta stay hydrated. So number 1 is my water. Whoa. Number 1 for me is water. Ice cold water beats anything. I drink it lukewarm. I really don't care. I have like at least 8 bottles a day, probably at work, 6 to 8, depending on what I'm doing. Number 2 is my favorite soda. I love orange soda, so I'm putting Fanta here. I drank the crap out of this when I was little at my grandma's house. I love orange soda. I don't know why. It is the greatest soda. I don't drink any like Coke or nothing, or like Dr. Pepper, any of that stuff. Orange soda is like my go-to soda. The number 3 is going to be lemonade. I love lemonade more than sweet tea. I used to drink a lot of lemonade whenever I went out to restaurants, and I still drink a bunch of lemonade. But of course, what I hate is my parents buy zero sugar lemonade. I think that stuff tastes like ass. I hate zero sugar lemonade. So that tastes good. So I don't drink it as much anymore. But number 3 will be lemonade. Number 4 is going to be sweet tea. It's kind of the same. I drink a lot of it at restaurants. I had like 2 pitchers of it at Huey last weekend.
Hell yeah.
So I still drink a whole bunch of it, but my parents don't buy it. So I don't drink it because I'm still living at home. Then my number 5 is going to be cherry limeade from Sonic. I love cherry limeade. It is just amazing. You got cherry limeade or cherry limeade slush. It is just absolute Jesus in a bottle or in a plastic
Styrofoam cup. Yeah.
styrofoam. Yeah.
Chase, top 5.
I'm gonna start off with chocolate milk. This is the best drink ever. I've
You look
drank
like
a
you
ton of
drink a lot of
chocolate milk in
chocolate
my
milk.
life. It goes well with breakfast, goes well after a workout. Great recovery drink. Can't beat chocolate milk. 2 is something I've been on recently.
This is an awful take, by the way. Atrocious.
No, it's a fantastic
Atrocious
take.
There could not be a worse
I wasn't
take out
on
here.
Primes for a long time. I was on Gatorade and Powerade. Recently, I started trying Primes, and I love the Prime Ice Pop. I probably drink 2 or 3 of those a week now. They're gas.
Are you?
I know it's a niche take and it's hated on,
It is
but
syrup.
I
It is
like
syrup.
Primes.
Are you?
I like the taste of coconut water.
Are you
though,
going to
dude.
drink a
It is
lunchly
great.
or eat a lunchly with it too?
No, I don't. No, it's a great. I use it for hydration. Anyways, third, I got a Shirley Temple. I don't know if you guys have ever had one of
yeah,
those.
those
That's
are
grenadine
fire.
with Sprite, absolutely gas.
Basically, a
Fourth,
cherry
kind of
lemonade.
from the same tree, cherry limeade, specifically from Sonic, where they put the actual lime in the drink. Super gas. And then lastly, cream soda goes great with barbecue, everything like that. Can't beat a good cream soda.
Man, he loves chocolate milk and cream soda, boys.
No, chocolate milk is a great taste.
I love chocolate milk. I'm just trying
I
to
will
poke
say.
and chase a little bit because of this absolute atrocious prime ice pop take. Michael, go ahead.
Yeah. All right, my number one is gonna be water. Water is king. H2O, baby. I mean, it is the best. And I've become more like drinking water every day as I've gotten older. So yeah. My second is sweat tea. I love sweat tea. Um,
Oh,
I can't believe I did that. Oh, sweet tea, obviously being from the South. It's so good. And yeah, I mean that's
Oh my
basic-
God, I so missed on number 3, my most consumed non-water beverage.
I don't drink caffeine.
Your number
Oh,
3.
yeah,
I
Red
missed
Bull.
on this.
I'm surprised no
oh
one didn't
my
put
God.
Red Bull either.
Why does no one have
So,
It
yeah,
coffee?
slipped
number
my
3.
mind.
Number 3, I'm gonna go Red Bull. I mean, I drink a lot of Red Bull.
I drink 2 a day.
Yeah. So I can't believe you forgot that. And another one that I definitely should have put on here that I didn't think of
Coffee?
is coffee.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
surprised no one had coffee.
I'm a Red Bull guy.
Coffee should have been on there, like / Red Bull, I guess.
Caffeine.
But yeah, caffeine. So yeah, that's my number 3. Number 4 is the best Gatorade flavor, Blue Gatorade.
Yeah.
It is so good, refreshing, especially the Glacier Freeze light blue Gatorade. Fire. So good. And then number 5, obviously, fan favorite here is the cherry limeade from Sonic. Literally the most refreshing drink you could ever have. And
Might get
yes,
one tomorrow.
yeah, I'm actually getting one tomorrow too.
I
So,
completely missed on Kool-Aid.
yeah. Kool-Aid's good too.
But, man, I missed on Red Bull.
Purple
Damn.
Kool-Aid.
Michael, you got a segment for us?
Yeah, but you were shaking your head. What's your favorite Gatorade flavor?
Yeah,
Oh no,
well,
yours is lime. What is
lemon
yours?
lime.
Oh, I drink Powerade.
Okay, well that was the worst answer you could have said. Chase, what's your favorite Gatorade flavor?
I'd probably say I don't
was
know
gonna
if
say
it
like
counts,
green or
but
something, but BS. Like
no.
that.
Okay. So we at HCU they used to mix the lemon with the lime, like the
Lime with the
packets,
Okay,
and like put a little extra
Is that
sugar
your
in there.
favorite?
That was the best Gatorade I've ever had. So I
That's-
don't
that's
even. I guess
valid.
you'd call it lemon
Okay.
lime. It was gas though.
Mine's a Powerade is the same thing. There's strawberry lemonade. It's
Ooh.
actually pretty
good
good.
take. That's a good take.
So
Michael, you have a
Powerade, Powerade's cheaper at gas stations. Still every time I buy it.
Michael, you have a segment
Holy-
for us.
You know what? What? All right. We're doing keep 3, cut 5, past and present wide receiver duos. Y'all all 3 are working together. You'll have to agree at least 2 to 1 on what duo you're keeping. So
Oh, is this blind?
yes, it's
Oh,
blind.
Okay.
So obviously, like y'all know, y'all know keep 3,
Yeah.
keeping cuts. They're kind of famous.
Yes.
This is
Solid
where y'all
on TikTok.
bullied me on the MVP ranking like months ago.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. All right. So the first duo that we have up is the Rams of Isaac Bruce and Puka Nakua. Are you
Oh, we're going
keeping?
with, like all time.
Yeah,
One
it's all time.
past, one
Oh
present.
yeah, it's past and present. It's a guy
Isaac
that is
Bruce, Memphis legend.
a guy
Isaac
that is
Bruce?
retired that played most of their time there, and a guy that's on the team right now.
Guys, my vote here is going to be cut. I think there's better out there.
I also think there's going to be better.
All right, we're
Chase.
cutting Isaac. Oh, Chase.
I said cut.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
All right, so we're cutting Isaac Bruce and Puka Nakua. Number 2, we're gonna go Chad Ochocinco and Jamar Chase from the Bengals.
I think we're absolutely keeping this duo.
Keeping.
Chad Ochocinco, a legend for
Okay.
his antics and his flips.
you.
Jamar Chase. You know what? Actually, I think Luke, you may be onto something. We have to cut 5. We only get to keep 3. There's better out there.
I
I'm
think
going to
there's better
override
out
Chase.
there.
I'm going to cut. I think Chad Ochocinco had
That's
a couple
crazy.
good years.
You have the best wide receiver in the league right now with one of the fastest wide receivers of all time.
Look, I love my
That's-
Montreal Alouettes, but bro played in the CFL for a span. I mean, let's. I mean, yeah,
He's
let's.
famous off his podcast.
Yeah, that is. We're gonna outrule you. We're gonna cut. You cutting?
I am cutting.
All right, we're gonna cut.
Oh, let's see how bad we get burned.
Chase,
here.
did you want to keep?
I want to keep that.
All right. Well, Chase gets outvoted on that one. For our third, we are going Larry Fitzgerald and Marvin Harrison Jr.
Shit.
Oh
we
my
should've
God,
cut.
we fucked up.
I told y'all.
I'm
Cut.
gonna cut.
We have to cut.
All right, we're going for cut there.
We're gonna have to start keeping some guys. There better be a cowboy duo on here.
All right.
Carolina just tied it up.
As our fourth, we are going Randy Moss and Justin Jefferson.
Keep.
Yes.
It is the easiest keep of all time. Oh my God.
All right, we might be back.
All right, so we're keeping JJ and Randy Moss. Oh my God, that is a gibby. That's a layup.
All right. For our
Let's do it.
next,
We could've-
we are going with Julio Jones and Drake London.
Oh, wait,
How many
keep.
left are there?
All right. So, including this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have, including this, you have 4 slots
so
for
we're,
2 people.
We're keeping 2, cutting 2 the rest of the way. We've kept 1, we've cut
yes.
3.
Yes.
We are cutting the hell out of this. Drake London is not
All right,
that
look-
good to be kept.
There's going to be a Seahawks one, I would think. There's going to be a Cowboy one, which I like both of those.
I'm cutting that. I don't think it's even a discussion. I think there's no way
But prime Julio Jones, Drake London was good last year.
yeah, but
So-
he totally gets carried in this thing by Julio Jones. We cut Chad Ochocinco and Jamar Chase. So
That's true. That's
we
true.
gotta
All
cut
right,
him.
let's
cut them. Let's cut.
All right. Cut Drake London and Julio Jones. All right. For your next one, we are going with Jerry Rice and Mike Evans, who is now on the San Francisco
easy
49ers.
keep. That is one of the. He is
Keep.
a Hall of Famer with a future Hall of Famer.
Another Hall of Famer. 2 Hall of
Yeah,
Famers.
absolutely. That is a keep.
That is a keep. I agree.
All right. For your second to last, you have 2 more. So you
Oh,
got to keep
God.
one.
First
and
off,
cut
I just
one.
want to go out there. I think we have, as of right now, kept the right 2.
Yep.
I kind of agree.
All right.
I
We're
agree.
getting screwed here, though.
You have 2 left. You got to keep one and cut one of these.
Okay,
We are going with the Detroit Lions and Calvin Johnson
God.
and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Keep.
Hold on.
I know
Yeah.
that the next one
It's the
is
Dallas
CeeDee
Cowboys.
Lamb and Michael Irvin. I know my brother way too well. I know he would put that as last. Or
He's doing some bull crap.
it is going to be like
Dell.
Megatron.
it's going to be
Megatron
like Shamira
and Amon-Ra.
DK.
Come on.
Guys, we in good conscience, everybody knows we're Cowboys fans. We in good conscience cannot cut Megatron
Yeah, we have to.
and Amon-Ra St. Brown. We have to keep him, right?
Keep.
Yes.
Let's keep him.
All right.
Who'd we cut?
So, y'all cut Jamar Chase and Chad Ochocinco, Isaac Bruce, Puka Nakua, Drake London, Julio Jones, and Marvin Harrison Jr. and Larry Fitzgerald.
Who's the
And
last
y'all
one we just
decided
cut?
to keep Justin Jefferson, Randy Moss, Mike Evans, Jerry Rice, and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Calvin Johnson. Therefore, y'all are cutting Michael Irvin and CeeDee Lamb of the
okay.
Dallas Cowboys.
I knew it. Michael, I saw the smile on his face. I knew it. I read him like a book.
Haynes, though.
Do I still think we're right?
I do think we're right.
got 3 of the
I think we
4.
got.
But you
I
can kind of.
we definitely were right in keeping Amon-Ra and Megatron. We ended up being totally right in cutting Ochocinco and Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
And the Julio Jones and Drake London. Who did we keep again?
Justin Jefferson,
Mike
and Randy
Evans, Jerry
Moss.
Rice.
Mike Evans, Jerry Rice is the only one we could potentially challenge.
No, Jerry Rice is the greatest wide receiver.
Yeah,
of all
I think we
we're
nailed
fine.
this, guys.
We have the top 3 wide receivers of all time, arguably across the airs, with Jerry Rice, Megatron, and Randy Moss.
Damn.
So I'm completely fine keeping what we've got.
I think the only thing you could argue maybe is if you're taking Mike Evans in his current state.
Okay.
That would be the
Sure.
only argument you can make.
It is. Yeah.
But-
He still will get 1,000
Yes,
yards
I
this
know,
year.
Yeah.
All right. Let's end this episode, guys, with best of the weekend.
Shower.
I bet you do. My best of the weekend. Super Trojans. Troy is going to the Super Regionals for the first time in school history, and they are hosting. This was, literally my entire weekend was stressing about Troy games, and it actually worked out probably for one of the few times in my life. So go Troy. My second was the regionals. I mean, just being able to rot on my couch and watch Squeeze play all day, it could not be beat. And then number 3 is coaching. We're back into summer football for high school. This isn't necessarily the weekend, but during the week, go Brothers. I'm excited to be out there back with the boys. Luke, what happened this weekend?
So mine's kind of stemming into Monday. Coaching. I'm back. I went from St. Francis, where I went to school, and now the feeder, the Christian Brothers of St.
My
Don,
alma mater over here.
which I am getting paid for. I get a stipend at the end of the year, which I think is insane. But I also have to get a background check and do all these trainings. I'll show you the email after this. It's a hefty amount of stuff I actually have to do. But so yeah, I'm back out there coaching. I think they already sort of hate me because I'm a little Starkish how I go about it, and piss me off, you're gonna run. But anyways, then I'm working out. I get up there like about a little before 4, and they have this gym, and Chip was like, "You want to go work out?" I'm like, "Sure." I get a workout in. I actually have somewhere I can work out where it's not like I go home and then I sit down. I'm like, I'm not getting up again. So which happens every time. Then gambling. I drew like $35 from DraftKings this weekend. So I was up a lot with some parlays. Arizona State losing to Ole Miss both times absolutely screwed me, but it's okay. I won a lot of money.
Bad weekend.
Was on
for me
Troy.
gambling. Yeah, hell yeah, brother. I think the reason why Troy won is I didn't bet on it. Chase, what happened this weekend?
The U.S. men's national team played Senegal on Sunday and absolutely dismantled them. I know the final score was 3-2, but we probably should have won 6-2. We had 2 goals called back. Third that should have been finished. I mean, I thought we looked great. The goals we gave up were kind of cheap. Looked like it was very promising going into this tournament. I think we look really good, and I was very impressed with how our boys came out and played it. And we didn't even play our best roster together yet. We kind of put like an A squad and B squad and mixed them all together. So it was a good weekend. And then I got to watch my first college baseball regionals at Georgia Tech in a box suite, which was sick until the very end. When I forgot the dude's name for Oklahoma, absolutely pissed on a ball, hit it over the batter's eye in center's field, probably 450. One of the hardest hit balls I've ever seen live in my life. Insane, but it was a really cool experience. And then my Saturday was absolutely fantastic because I got to watch Arsenal lose the Champions League final in the morning to PSG, and then turn on the TV later and watch the Thunder get whooped by the Spurs. Couldn't have written it up better. It was a great Saturday.
Michael, what happened this weekend, bud?
First one is baseball just in general, but I was in Starkville and just an electric atmosphere at the dude, and it was just some great vibes in baseball.
Do you remember everything?
I wasn't too
Lame.
bad, man.
Why?
Hey, man, Starkville's a good time, man, especially that salsa cheese plate.
Yeah, not one. I only ate the
And they
crap.
had that drink still there.
Oh, seriously?
Yes. But, yeah, Starkville was just a vibe. Huh?
Two brothers.
No, we were at the landing.
I got you.
Peak.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Starkville was just great. My second is Spider Noir. Started it and finished it this weekend. Actually, I finished it yesterday. But yeah, it's actually a really good show. Go watch it on Amazon Prime. Nicolas Cage does a good job as Spider-Man, and it's good. It's a good different vibe of Spider-Man. And my third is Jordy Fromm. I don't know if y'all know who this is, but she is the National Player of the Year for softball, college softball for Nebraska. And they got eliminated yesterday. And she came out today that she's 3 months pregnant.
That's pretty
So
awesome.
she played the last couple of months, I guess, being pregnant and won National Player of the Year, which is pretty cool, I will say. So I have to give a shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to where you're from. And I could have again given a shout out to Jabe Boroff of the Troy Trojans.
Yes, he
mean,
deserves a shout out.
the
Multiple.
sensation, Jabe Boroff.
Yes.
That'll conclude episode 65 of Sorry Sports. It's been a hefty one. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Until Thursday, when we will, talk about shit.
Talk about stuff on a
There you
podcast.
go on the podcast. Have a
All
good
right.
night.